Hello, welcome back to Popcorn Daddy. I'm Kevin, and today we are ranking the Nightmare on Elm Street films, so welcome to prime time, bitch. Wait, did I just get demonetized? Wait, you can't demonetize what sucks. So, coming in at number 9, A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, The Dream Child. And yes, okay, so a lot of people are like, why not the remake for number 9? Well, it's mainly just because of, you kind of have a decent premise with Freddy trying to interact through dreams through a child. However, it's ruined by the cartoonish, element of the entire film. And that's the biggest reason why I did not really care for this film as much as the others. Oh, and I'll explain this whenever it comes up later down the line. Coming up at number 8, A Nightmare on Elm Street, the 2010 remake featuring Jack Earl Haley, and I gotta say, it could have been a good film had they not utilized CGI as much, especially on the face. It just made him look like a burn-up lizard, and it just looks so freaking awkward. There were so many cool scenes in there, especially whenever you had, the drugstore scene, where Freddy was actually intertwining between, reality and actually he's coming into reality, but at the same time he's still in a dream, which is why it kind of gets a spot up above the Dream Child. Another aspect that actually puts this lower on the list is just the factor in the original Freddy Krueger was actually just a child killer, and they kind of brought it over to a more it was kind of suspected, but at the same time, it wasn't really, actually lore that he was a child yeah. So, yeah, this one comes in at number 8. Coming in at number 7, I bet you're getting scared now because I'm going to say Freddy vs. Jason. Gotta say, while I did enjoy this movie, I actually enjoyed all these movies aside from kind of the previous two, but yeah, Freddy vs. Jason, even though it was more a Freddy film than a Jason film, Jason takes more of a lead role in this film, even though Freddy's the mastermind. However, the water and fire, how can we use that? Seriously though, overall, aside from bad acting, I did love the freaking stoner slug thingy that went into what's his name? It's been a while since I've seen the movie. Crap. Either way, you also got a guy who pretty much is in love with the main character, even though she loves Will, and yeah, you got that whole weird. He ends up falling in love with the girl who wants a nose job. Coming in at number 6, you're gonna kill me, baby. Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I'm sorry, I'm not the biggest fan of it. It is I like it more than the previous film stated. However, I gotta say it kind of just it's too meta for my taste in a sense. You got a demon portraying Freddy. It's not exactly Freddy, even though it's still played by Robert Englund. He did a great job at doing a duality role between him, his own self. I mean, that painting of Freddy was badass whenever he was doing that, and I don't know, it's just not really my cup of tea in terms of what I want in the Nightmare film, I guess. Kevin, why is this movie so high in your list? So coming in at number 5, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. I gotta say, I have a really soft spot for this film. I gotta say, the map says we're fucked, and literally, this movie is pretty much comedy gold, and I can't stop laughing at it. As much as I love horror, I also love comedy, and this actually nailed it on the bit, and I could not stop laughing throughout this film. It's really enjoyable as like a every now and then watch, and it just brings me up into like a better mood every time I watch it. So this is why it gets number 5. Coming in at number 4, and yes, it is A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4, The Dream Master. I gotta say, I love Alice. I love her brother, especially with the kung fu ninja skills he's got. Overall, I gotta say, Alice is a great character. Her love for Dan is also pretty cool. I also like the aspect, like, the more of her friends that actually die, she removes the photos off her mirror so she can actually see herself. And it's kind of like a coming of age where she's like just finding herself and gaining like more confidence and stuff like that. And she's aiming to fight like Freddy in the end, and she uses all the elements from that. Like, in a sense, it's kind of like a actually, no, yeah, it's actually almost like the way the Black Phone was actually kind of built, because he was using well, spoiler alert for the Black Phone. Like, all the dead kids that called through the phone pretty much gave him advice that he used to kill the grabber. But in a sense, with each friend that passed, Alice gained like some sort of new power she could use against Freddy. So in a sense, it's kind of the same thing. But yeah, I gotta say, I really love this film, and it really really hits home. It also has some amazing music behind it, and it really captures that 80s vibe. So yeah, this one is definitely deserving of a number 4 spot, even though it's the 4th film in the franchise. So it kind of fits. Coming in at number 3, A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddys Revenge. I gotta say, I really don't see why people hate this film. I mean, yes, you got some homoeroticisms, but still, you got a great final guy. This movie is, I gotta say, so well put together. Like, if I didn't love the next two a little bit more, this one would have actually probably taken my number 1 spot. But there's reasons why I love the other two more, and I'm just gonna go with that. But this one is just so good, and it is a great follow-up sequel to the original, and it shows more of what Freddy can do. It also shows more of it shows like a darker Freddy, which is kind of what Wes wanted to create in like the sequels in general, but it's the darker Freddy that ended up ultimately appearing in Wes Craven's New Nightmare. And this version of Freddy is vile, wicked, and just I love it. You know what this one is? Coming in at number 2, Dream Warriors. But overall, I love this film. I gotta say, I love how they bring back Heather Langenkamp. It really truly follows the rules of the trilogy if you go by Randy's Super Trilogy rules. But yeah, Heather Langenkamp comes back as Nancy Thomas. Okay. She comes back as Nancy. But yeah, okay, so speaking of this, yeah, she comes back. They're in like a psychiatric ward. I think it's like Weston Hill. I don't know, but it's been a while since I've seen it. But like, I gotta say, Dream Warriors, like, they're in like a psychiatric unit. You got like Kincaid. You got the creepy ass freaking doctor that's trying to hit on Nancy throughout the whole film, and he tries punking out Nancy's dad. Damn, why can't I remember names whenever I'm recording? But okay, so overall, like a big factor I love about this is how other people can actually control like a dream power and stuff like that. Overall, it's pretty neat, and you also got some of the most amazing, most invented deaths in the actual franchise. You got the sleepwalker Philip, who is pretty much dangled like a puppet. Well, yeah, he was turned into a puppet and pretty much thrown off a building. You also got the scene where Freddy tried killing Joey. He was pretty much strapped above a bed and it was engulfed in flame. Why does he have a habit of putting Joey with Joey has a habit of like almost dying through and also dying on a bed. But overall, yes, I gotta say this movie is spectacular. And it can only be beaten by, well, you guessed it, number one, A Nightmare on Elm Street, the OG one. You can't get better than this. You got Freddy with his freaky stretchy arms. You got pretty much the freaking staircase where like you got the melting like floor, stuff like that. You also got like the well, okay, so if this kind of does bring it down a little bit, like the ending scene where it's just cringe. Like it was not well put together where Nancy's mom gets pulled into the window. But aside from that, I gotta say I really love this movie just because of the factor like it was actually like an original that like kind of redefined horror in its own right. And I gotta say, Wes Craven is a genius when it comes to redefining horror. He created not only just one, but two horror icons that are like still standing strong today and well revered. Both being Freddy Krueger and Ghostface. And overall, I just gotta say, like, the original, you also got the body bag scene, and sorry, I'm getting distracted here, but just can't help getting so giddy about this stuff. So yeah, this has been Popcorn Daddy. My list. I'm sorry if you disagree with my opinions, but sorry, not sorry. Have a great day. Okay, so coming in at number one, it is, yes, the OG Nightmare on Elm Street. I actually like this a little bit more than the original Halloween. I gotta say, Wes was a great mind when it came to horror, and this one actually redefined the genre at the time. And I gotta say, you got like, even though at the end where it did not age well, where Nancy's mom went back into the door. However, it is still like probably one of my favorite horror films, just due to the factor you got Robert Englund in his debut like scene as Freddy Krueger. You got Johnny Depp in his first ever movie, for Christ's sake. And like this movie is like, I hold it close to my heart just because of the factor. Like I gotta say, Freddy is absolutely terrifying, especially like whenever you get the scene, he's like, "This is God." But no, like you also got, yeah, like so many details in this film I can't really cover in like a short amount of time. But overall, this one is just a spectacular like showing, and the Tina body bag scene is so visceral. It is just like amazing. Like it has like a guttural, visceral, like ugh. I love it so much. And overall, I gotta say that's a big reason why it hits my number one. There's so many great like scenes, and overall like deaths, especially the Johnny Depp death scene where he ends up going into the bed and you got the bloodiest like scene, and it's just amazing. So yes, A Nightmare on Elm Street, definitely this is my number one. This has been Popcorn Daddy. Have a great day. Please like, subscribe, and hit that noti bell. Please also comment on the like video if you liked it. Let me know. I'm trying to get more people like interacting in the comment section. I gotta say, like, it'd be like more fun to have people interact in the comment section, because I kind of want to build a community where we interact with one another and we like just share the love of like the films we watch and stuff like that. So yeah, this has been Popcorn Daddy. Please have a great day.